Buried 3 feet deep in the walls of Istanbul, archaeologists discovered something that shouldn't exist. A bronze sphere, 600 pounds of cast metal, fired with such force it punched through stone that had stood for 1,000 years. This is not just a cannonball. This is the artifact that ended the Roman Empire forever. May 29th, 1453. For 53 days, the greatest city in Christendom has endured bombardment from weapons the medieval world has never seen. Inside these walls, 7,000 defenders face an army of 80,000. The Byzantine Empire, heir to Rome itself, is about to die, and the technology that kills it will change warfare forever. To understand why this single day matters, you need to know what Constantinople was. Not just a city, the last living thread connecting the ancient world to the Renaissance. Inside these walls lived the scholars who preserved Greek philosophy, the engineers who built domed cathedrals, the diplomats who played empires against each other for centuries. Lose Constantinople, and you sever history itself. But there's a problem with Constantinople. The same walls that made it unconquerable for 1,000 years have made its people fatally overconfident. 23 sieges have broken against these stones. The Byzantines believe God himself protects their city. They're about to learn that God cannot stop physics. His name is Orban, a Hungarian engineer, a genius of metallurgy, and possibly the most consequential weapons designer in history. He arrives at the Byzantine court in 1452 with plans for a cannon unlike anything built before. Emperor Constantine offers him money, but Sultan Mehmed II offers him something better: unlimited resources and a blank check to build the impossible. What Orban builds defies medieval engineering. A bronze monster 27 feet long, weighing 34 tons, requiring 60 oxen and 200 men just to move. The barrel is cast so thick it can contain explosions that would vaporize normal cannons. It fires stones weighing 1,200 pounds, and when it shoots, the sound can be heard 10 miles away. But here's what makes this weapon truly revolutionary. Traditional siege engines, catapults, trebuchets, rely on tension and gravity. They lob projectiles in arcs. Orban's cannon uses explosive force to drive stone in a nearly flat trajectory. This means concentrated impact. Walls designed to deflect arcing stones simply shatter when hit with this linear kinetic energy. The medieval world has no defense. On April 6, 1453, the bombardment begins. The great cannon fires 7 times per day. That's the maximum before the bronze needs to cool or it will crack. Each shot requires 3 hours of preparation: loading the powder, positioning the stone, aiming the barrel. And with each impact, sections of wall that have stood since the reign of Emperor Theodosius simply cease to exist. Inside the city, Emperor Constantine II knows he's watching military history change in real time. His engineers try everything. They hang leather hides to absorb impacts. They pack earth behind damaged sections. They even attempt night raids to spike the Ottoman guns. Nothing works. You cannot repair stone faster than explosives can destroy it. The mathematics of siege warfare have fundamentally shifted. But there's another layer to this siege, something that makes the psychological warfare as devastating as the cannons. Byzantine culture is soaked in prophecy. Ancient texts predict that Constantinople will fall when the crescent moon eclipses the full moon. On May 22nd, 1 week before the final assault, a lunar eclipse turns the moon blood red. The prophecy is fulfilled. The city's morale collapses. Soldiers desert. Priests declare the end times. Even Constantine, who has fought with desperate courage for nearly 2 months, understands what this means psychologically. When your people believe God has abandoned them, walls become irrelevant. The Byzantines aren't just fighting Ottomans anymore. They're fighting their own apocalyptic narrative. Mehmed senses the moment. On May 28th, he orders a full day of rest, Complete silence. No cannons, no attacks, nothing. The Ottomans pray. The Byzantines wait in terror. This is psychological warfare at its finest. The silence before the storm is more frightening than the bombardment. Everyone knows what's coming at dawn. That night, Constantine does something extraordinary. He rides through the streets, thanking his soldiers personally. Greek, Italian, Genoese, the tiny multinational force that stayed when everyone else fled. He knows most of them will be dead by noon tomorrow. Medieval sources say he gave a speech about dying with honor, but the truth is simpler. He's saying goodbye to the world. May 29th, 1:30 a.m. The attack begins not with cannons, but with sound. 80,000 Ottoman soldiers beating drums, blowing horns, screaming battle cries. The psychological assault comes first. Then the irregulars, the expendable troops, rush forward in waves. They're not meant to break through. They're meant to exhaust the defenders, to use up arrows, to fill the ditches with bodies so the real soldiers can cross. For 2 hours, the defenders hold. 7,000 against 80,000. The walls are broken but not breached. Byzantine crossbowmen shoot until their hands bleed. Italian mercenaries fight like lions. Then at 3:30 a.m., disaster. A small postern gate, the Kirka Porta, is found unlocked. 50 Ottoman soldiers slip through. 50 becomes 500. The inner defense collapses. Constantine knows it's over. According to witnesses, he tears off his imperial purple, draws his sword, and charges into the melee. The last Roman emperor dies fighting in the streets like a common soldier. His body is never identified. Within hours, Ottoman flags fly over the walls that had protected this city since 324 AD. 1,129 years of continuous history end in a single morning. But here's the twist that changes everything. When Mehmed enters Hagia Sophia, he doesn't destroy it. He converts it to a mosque, yes, but preserves the structure. Why? Because he understands he hasn't just conquered a city. He's inherited the mantle of Rome itself. The Ottomans will call themselves the Third Rome. They'll preserve Byzantine administration, art, and scholarship. The empire dies, but its knowledge survives. Here's what makes this story matter to you. The fall of Constantinople creates a refugee crisis of scholars. Byzantine intellectuals flee west, carrying Greek manuscripts. They land in Italy just as the Renaissance is beginning. The knowledge they bring, Plato, Aristotle, mathematics, astronomy, supercharges the Renaissance. Without Constantinople falling, the modern world looks completely different. Today, if you visit Istanbul, you can still see the walls. The breaches have been repaired, but the scars remain. The Kirka Porta gate stands sealed, and buried in those walls, cannonballs from 1453 still rest where they struck. Physical evidence of the day technology killed invincibility. The day a 1,000-year empire learned that walls, no matter how legendary, cannot stop the future.